Okay, hello everybody, welcome to another video here on CM42 TV, and I feel like I should get some sort of jingle going, pay for some sort of, mad advertisement that plays before videos. This is CM42 TV, and I'm Chris Moffat, your host. Anyway, hello everybody, this is another video, and it is a video that I've been thinking about making for, I don't know how long, a good few feckin' decades it feels like. A good few years anyway. It's crazy to think that in my whole time of making videos here on YouTube and being a YouTuber, I've never actually really sat down and made this video. Maybe I've kind of touched on it here and there in Q&As or podcasts or whatever, but in terms of sitting down and making this video, I've always thought it was a pretty big deal. And I don't know why, like thinking about it now is silly, but I've been on YouTube for about 11 years. Yeah, Jesus, it's a long time. And I suppose thinking about this sort of video, talking about my history being on YouTube, I should tell you what the video is. Well, you know from the title, but this is my YouTube story. It is the story, the tale of Chris Moffat, CM42 TV, here on YouTube, from 2007 all the way to now, 2018. Thinking about this video in the past has always been like, oh, well, that's a shift, that's going to be a long video and stuff, and I don't know if it will be or not. I literally have no notes, which is definitely a bad idea, but, to hell with it. I guess we'll just talk and I'll just tell my story and I'll just see where it goes. And channels on YouTube that have millions and millions and millions of views and subscribers and videos and things like that, this sort of video for them is very interesting because obviously there's a journey to starting a channel to getting extremely popular and making this a career or whatever. But sort of smaller channels like mine and like some other guys, in the sort of movie community and the wrestling community here on YouTube, who have smaller channels with lesser subscribers and lesser views and things like that, those videos and those stories are kind of more interesting as well to see, their point of view on things, and to see where they stand right now. And it is the idea of having your own sort of show, having your own program, running an entire website or a TV channel or something like that, that always intrigued me. That's always been the interest, and that's always why I've done it. The reason there's so many silly series on the YouTube channel right now is because I had like a sort of vision, a sort of come to Jesus meeting, a few months ago, and I was like, it would be so cool, it's like you get the WWE Network and you get Netflix and stuff, and these are, online resources and databases that you can go on and you can, select from a huge library what you want to watch. Everybody's got their favourite Netflix show that they'll go to when they're stuck with nothing else to watch. Everybody's got their own sort of series on the WWE Network that they'll watch, before Raw or whatever, I was thinking, what if I could create a YouTube channel where there's so many different shows and different types of videos that people could use CM42 TV as a sort of pastime. They could go on and select what they want to watch, Not everybody needs to watch every single video that I put up because they're all parts of different series, And that kind of brought me back to the idea, like, that's probably why I started making videos in the first place. Watch an unboxing or watch a countdown or Chris and Cammy Take the Road or the Good Bit episodes, old episodes of the Good Bit podcast, exclusive from the Good Bit podcast, seeing what like the personalities are like that you hear on the podcast, other videos, the film reviews, Blu-ray unbox. I did a mail day for feck's sake. I did a feckin' unboxing video the other day of the Bond stuff, the Bond Classified collection, which is on YouTube now. And that was like, this is the first time I've done this in 3 years, but it's part of a series and people loved it. It's weird. It's a really weird process, the whole YouTube thing, and that's the addicting part about it, creating new content, adding to your library, But that's the reason I do videos. I do it because, of course I do it because I like it, but I do it mainly because I have a ball, not just film, because sometimes filming videos can be really really stressful, especially someone like me who's a complete perfectionist who wants everything to be so perfect and so, and a lot of times it's very far from that, and I'll either just fuck it and just don't upload anything. But sometimes I need to say to myself, if you're trying to create this thing, it's not that big of a deal, Just chill and just put the video up, and I have done before. There's been a few videos recently that I've just been like, for fuck, like, this is a terrible video. Just not interested. I'm rambling, I'm saying nonsense and stuff, and I'm just like, no one's going to want to see this. But I don't know that, someone out there might love every single video I put up. The Cinema Club videos that are just silly, rambling film reviews or films that a lot of people probably haven't seen yet. But, it's a series, so I've got to keep doing it, and, it could change. I've got an idea of how I want to change it. So the Cinema Club videos are silly because, they're a good example. Sometimes you just make the video and you go, what was that? That wasn't even a review. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't even talk about the film at all. I talked about me and talked about my experience. But maybe people like that, you don't know. So you bite the bullet and you just put it out there and you share your opinion and you hope people enjoy it and you hope people have opinions that they can share with you. It's weird, I am a very creative person. I think I'm very I always think of these new ideas and I'm like, I'm going to do it, I'm just going to do it all now, and these things take time, And that goes all the way back to the start, nice little segue, to the start of my YouTube story or whatever. I don't know if there's anybody watching this right now who has followed me and watched my videos since I was, you know, a child, you know, literally a child. I started making videos in 2007, that means I was 10 years old. 10. Just turned into double figures. The reason I started making videos without YouTube, it's just because I found the video camera and I just thought, this is fucking brilliant, like, I've got a video camera, I can film stuff. I would film just like my mum or my dad or whatever, just like making a dinner or something like that. Like, I just wanted to film stuff. And I kind of, you know, it's funny, these developments and these sort of realizations that you do when you talk about these things. Thinking about it now, that's probably why I love vlogging and I love filming so much now, is because it goes all the way back to my childhood where I'd film everything, you know.
I'm back and we're just going to show you a little bit of the show because we want to show you the theme park and everything. Can you hear me? Okay, bye. But
the main thing I would film is I'd film me playing with my wrestling figures, like the action figures that came out, the wrestlers, as you called them here. It's a weird story, this. When I was in school, primary school, 2005, 2006 sort of time, like I was known for like wrestling figures and I was the wrestling guy. So I would always play like wrestling figures and stuff. I'd bring them in every Friday. We'd have a sort of select time at the end of the day called Golden Time where you could just play whatever you want, last half an hour of a Friday, just as fun, you know. So I'd bring in my wrestling figures, I'd do matches and stuff, and I'd have people like crowded around me at the desk and sitting at different chairs watching me do this match, because it was like, oh, you're so good at playing with the wrestling figures, you're so good at making matches. And some days, you know, I kind of miss those days, where it was so like, there's not a care in the world. You finish school on a Friday, you know, you got all this attention, playing with your wrestling figures, you came home, you've not got school for another few days. You know, SmackDown was on that night. You came home for hours and created your show. I had my own company, created my own storylines and my own, you know, champions and matches and stuff. It was great fun. And they were genuinely the best time of my life, just sort of chilling. I don't know if that's true, but, you know, chilling, not having a care in the world, just playing with these wrestling figures. That was the most important part of the week. So I started videoing myself playing them and setting the camera up. I actually tried to set up the camera up on this couch and try and balance it so it wouldn't fall, when it would fall all the time. It's the most frustrating thing ever. So then I was like, okay, the video camera's not good enough because it's too big of a file and whatever. So I tried filming it on my phone, and at the time I was very lucky as a child to have a mobile phone. And it was the flip one of the ones you flipped up, or it was one of the ones you slid up, you know, like that. But, you know, the video camera, I don't know if it was just the storage or the camera, was really, really bad. So I borrowed my dad's phone. My dad had, I mean, it was a terrible phone, but at the time it was an amazing phone, and it could hold like 10 minutes of video. Like you could manage to do a full match in that time, you know. Remember I went to a wrestling show in Glasgow in October of 2007, and the main event was a 6-man tag. Back in the day they used to do these big 6-man tags on the UK tours. It was so good. And my dad had a video of all the entrances of that main event, so yeah, it was like a 10-minute clip. I had Undertaker's entrance and Batista's entrance. He filmed the whole thing, and I was like, how can you get 10 minutes of video on your phone? That's mental. So what I would do is I'd borrow my dad's mobile, and I'd be able to film full matches of my wrestling figures, because I'd do a match within 10 minutes. So then I would do it, I'd watch it, delete it, do another one, delete it. YouTube wise, I don't know who showed me YouTube, I don't know what it was, but there used to be like a totally illegal like streaming site called LimeWire. I don't know if anybody has ever heard of it. I'm sure you have. It wasn't even a website, it was like a software you got, full of viruses. Like it broke so many computers of mine, never mind the world. And that's kind of where I was able to watch lots of wrestling that I'd never seen before. Because back in the day, I should make this quite clear, huge wrestling fan. But like more than I am now. Like I'm a huge wrestling fan now, but it's different, you know, you grew up and stuff. But the only thing in the world was wrestling back in the day, you know. Didn't watch many movies. Only TV I'd watch was like Nickelodeon, Disney Channel stuff, and Sky Sports for the shows. And only music I'd listen to was wrestling related songs, like pay-per-view themes and people's theme songs and stuff. So I'd have DVDs and stuff and VHS tapes of just wrestling, but it was all WWE stuff obviously, and a couple of WCW tapes. So in terms of LimeWire, you could go and you could download loads of things. At one time I downloaded, it was like the full first season of Tough Enough, 2001 WWF, and I'd never seen it before, so I was like, oh, fucking brilliant. Downloaded it, opened it up, all porn, and I was like 10. Scarred me for life. So LimeWire was a thing, and I don't know, that's where I watched, you know, ECW and things like that. I used to find like TNA stuff. TNA was on TV as well, I think I should make that clear. I was watching TNA at the time. I think it was one of my friends, maybe Jack, one of my friends Jack, who was into all the sort of internet stuff, you know. He must have showed me YouTube, and I just remember watching lots of Doink the Clown videos. I don't know why, it was just lots of Doink the Clown videos. Because he interests me. I don't know, he was weird. I watched loads of Doink the Clown videos. There's one that he's like a bowling alley or something that went into a Superstars match or something like that. The first video I watched on YouTube. Another one was, it was like Jesus Christ walking around the streets in New York singing I Will Survive. And then at the end he gets hit with a bus. And something like that, right? These really weird, and it was like a big deal. It's like, look at this video on YouTube, you know? There's loads of them. And then something I saw that was really interesting to me because I was such a big fan of the wrestling figures. It was a video called Matt Hardy's Birthday, right? So coming back to me. And it was some guy, I don't know who it was, but it was some guy. And he was filming like his table, and he had the Matt Hardy action figure. And he was like, he had like a birthday party, and all the wrestlers came to the birthday party and stuff. And I just thought it was the funniest thing. You know, this is genius. You know, you're making the wrestling figures like real people, like I do. But he's showing, and it was got millions and millions of views. It's probably still on YouTube now. I haven't watched it in years. The Matt Hardy video, and I was like, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have a birthday party for my wrestling figures, and I'm going to film it, and I'm going to put it on YouTube. So I did. I went out in my back garden, and who did I use? Doink the Clown, because I was such a big fan of Doink the Clown apparently, and I was watching all these videos on YouTube, and he was in my head, and I had the figure, and I was going to do Doink the Clown's birthday party, right? Which I thought would be really funny, because clowns come to birthday parties. What would happen if the clown had a birthday party? That's the sort of things I was thinking about back in the day. So I was out in my back garden, summer afternoon, Doink's having a birthday party, and I had all these wrestlers, and we filmed it, and it ended up not really being a birthday party. It was just me being a total fanny with my two mates. One was filming it, one was kind of helping out. Because it was a 3-man job. We'd have all these altercations with the different wrestlers and stuff, and I had like my sister had like a car, like a toy car for her dolls, whatever. And he'd come in and he'd run over Doink and things, and she's so stupid, right? And then I put it on YouTube, and I was like, this isn't a birthday party. I can't call it Doink's birthday. So I called it Doink. I called it Doink Does Daft Stuff, right? Right? So I called it Doink Does Daft Stuff. And I put it on YouTube, and I was like, oh, my first ever YouTube video. My channel was called Chris Moffat 42. It was like November 2007. And I just think that was like the time I was talking about earlier, how like I wanted to have my own channel. That was like the moment I was like, I have my own YouTube channel. I have my own TV station. This is my own business now. You know, this is my new thing. This is going to be my job. Back then, I suppose I don't really now, but I kind of like I do more than I did back then. But now, like you kind of look at views and stuff, and you take views as a big thing. I suppose I do in some cases now, but I didn't really think about views and subscribers back in the day. You just put the videos up. I didn't care, no one was watching it, but to me it was on YouTube, so someone must be watching it. I was watching it, you know. And this Doink Does Daft Stuff video got like 4 million views, right? It got like millions and millions and millions of views, and I didn't even realise at the time, you know. Until I found out a few years later how you can check these things. I just about had a heart attack when I found out that Doink Does Daft Stuff had like 4 million views. And then I was like, well, I'm going to keep doing videos now because I had such a good time. So I filmed a match between Cactus Jack and Triple H, the action figures. I did a match, it was about 10 minutes long because that's all you could manage. Put it on YouTube, that got good views. And then started doing my own wee matches. I'm sure I did a Mr. Kennedy versus Undertaker match. It was 2 parts because back in the day, YouTube videos could only be 10 minutes or 11 minutes. It couldn't be any more than 11 minutes, so you had to do parts back in the day, which is bizarre to think about, utterly bizarre. Lots of wrestling figure videos, and then I started watching other people on YouTube. Mader111 was a big one. There was a guy called Smackle who was doing one, and I found an account, I can't remember the name of the account, WWE Tom or something like that. He did a show called EFW Pain or Revenge or something like that. It was like he had like his first sort of weekly show with his action figures and stuff, and he had like really cool finishes, and he had like an intro and stuff with that Gavin Rossdale song, Adrenaline. You don't feel the pain. That was like his theme song, and I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. Like, this was a big deal to me. I was just like, this is so cool that people have their own show about the wrestling figures. So I was just trying to copy people, and I was trying to emulate them and have my own thing. Then eventually, as I said earlier, there was a guy, Mader111, who did WFF, and then he started making DVD reviews. He started buying and collecting WWE DVDs and reviewing them and updating his collection and stuff. And he would talk about a guy called Gemini, and a guy called WWE G86, and a guy called Above Average Muta. So I immediately checked their channels out, and then I was like a total new come to Jesus meeting where, oh my god, this is another show he has on his channel, and he's talking about his DVDs. I have DVDs, I have videos, I can go and do that. So I went and I copied them, and I did my own sort of DVD update and DVD review and things like that. And I only had maybe like 30 DVDs at the time, and now I've got fucking hundreds, ridiculous amount. But I got to a point for a long time where I'd just be like buying DVDs literally just to make videos for them, and that was fine by me. You know, I would go on holiday to say Tenerife or something like that, or Portaventura, and the whole 2 weeks I was there, all I'd be thinking about was I have to save the holiday money I have so when I go home I can go to HMV and buy some wrestling DVDs so I can make a video about them. I bought John Cena Word Life, I remember, and I bought No Way Out and Backlash 2009, and I bought another one I can't remember. Later on I bought WrestleMania 25 in the sort of box edition. I made videos about it, I just made all these videos, and then I fucking found eBay and Amazon and these things you can buy online, and I was going on and I was buying, but of course when you're a kid you don't know how to do that, so I had to get my dad to order it for me, and I used to hate bothering him because it would always be like, oh, I'm taking money off his card, but I'd give you the money, I'll give you, here's a tenner, but because it was coming off his card he was still having to lose money off his card. I didn't understand that, you know, things like that. And just to make the unboxings and stuff, I just made like, it was like a weekly thing, like I made so many unboxings and these big hauls of all these DVDs I was buying, and that became my new thing. Like and that was kind of what got me not recognised, but got lots of views and stuff. People watching these DVD reviews and stuff. I managed to get shout outs by people. That was a big thing back in the day. I suppose it is now, but you know, it's you know, YouTube's calmed down a little bit now. It was a kind of cool wee society, community we had going on, you know, back then. And people don't realise like that was a big thing. Like this community of YouTube wrestling personalities, and then people like Assault and Battery 777 came in. He's still in the game now. Edge is the best. One TV is one that was there. GJ Mix 617, fucking hell. Who else was there? Legend Killer 410, who I loved. These are like the YouTubers, the original YouTubers, you know. Now you get people like Zoella and Alfie and CTFXC and this Logan Paul guy, and these people who are like YouTube famous and YouTube celebrities who are YouTubers, but they weren't like around back in the day. And the first sort of, I don't know if the first of that sort of thing, but the first time I ever found out are these wrestling fans talking about wrestling under these ridiculous monikers. Really weird and really, really cool, you know. I started a new channel at some point. It was called Chris B RKO, and it was a sort of a collab account with my best friend at the time. He had a YouTube channel called Grant BY2J, and we kind of came together, created Chris B RKO, and that was like sort of my most successful channel at that point. I got over like 300 subs, and that was a big deal at the time. And that was always about like collab videos with other YouTubers. That was my first ever wrestling podcast. It was called Wrestling Undisputed. And I'd have other YouTubers phone me and call in on Skype, and I'd record the conversations, but I would totally script it. I would be like, okay, at this point, you phone me here. And there was guys on there, it was so cool to have these guys on. They would like phone and talk about, you know, whatever was going on at the time. This was like 2010, 2009, 2011 maybe. Around that time I met guys like the WWE Evan, you know, haven't spoken to him in a while, hope he's okay. Razor Y Reviews came along there, who I still talk to this day. He's probably been my longest tenured friend on YouTube. And recently just made an unboxing video, a mail day video, you know, from me, which is really cool to see. And I really befriended these people. I really like started talking to them and getting them on Facebook and stuff, and creating this sort of relationship with people, you know, over Twitter and whatever. Twitter became a thing, you know. I joined Twitter back in like 2010 or whatever. And this is like kind of growing my online presence, you know. So we all did these YouTube videos kind of together, you know, like, oh my god, Evan's got a new video up, watch it. And it was really nice. It was like a sort of community of all these sort of smaller channels who didn't really get many, you know, subs or views or whatever, and we all were kind of supporting each other. It was really cool. We were all sharing each other's videos, we were appearing in other people's videos, we were sending each other DVDs and stuff. It was really cool, and that was kind of like the best time in YouTube, I think. It was like, you know, you were kind of, if you put up a video, it instantly got lots of views because it was all your friends watching it and leaving comments and stuff, and I'd love to get back to that, you know. I know that's still a thing, but like, not for me anyway. I don't really have that anymore, but that's just because I'm still in the game and everybody else has left. I'm the last man standing. Then something happened with Chris B RKO, something I don't know what it was. Maybe it was like copyright, or it got out somewhere, I don't know. Or it got hacked or something, so I had to close the account. Probably a copyright thing, because I made lots of like highlight videos. So then I made two new channels. I made one called PW Collectors TV, which was really embarrassing because I spelt the word collectors wrong in the title, so it was PW Collectors TV. Ridiculous. And I was like 14 at the time. I created a channel called Let's Watch Wrestling TV. So what I did in Chris B RKO was I like made my YouTube videos like this, but I'd also like make top 10s and highlight videos of matches and stuff. And I thought that was going to get me banned and, you know, the channel deleted and stuff. So I made a separate channel called Let's Watch Wrestling TV, and I could put all my highlight stuff on there, and it still exists now, and I still use it. So go check it. It's got like nearly 7,000 subs now, which is amazing. You need to kind of keep up these things, don't you? Because then you lose views and stuff. Doesn't matter how many subscribers you got. It's all about the views at the time. So that's still a thing. Let's Watch Wrestling TV is still a channel. You know, I just go in and out with that one. The PW Collectors TV was kind of like not as good as Chris B RKO, but it was still pretty cool. Got lots of good videos done there. That was like going into sort of 2012 sort of time. And then I was like, let's just create a channel where it's just me. And then in like do you know what? It must have been 2011, because I remember talking about the CM Punk stuff. So call it 2011, I created a channel called CM42TV. The channel does exist now. And that was this has always been our most successful channel, the one I've done the most videos on, the best videos on, the most viewed videos and stuff. But there's been definitely like sort of a roller coaster of times here, you know, like ups and downs, and lots of times where I've not been interested, and lots of times where all I've thought about is CM42 TV. And it just depends, doesn't it? It just depends on the time of the month and the flavour of the month. It's just what we're up to now, what do we want to talk about, what are we in the mood for. Like right now I'm really up for making lots of videos and stuff, but you know, a few months ago I wasn't, you know. I've got this podcast now, the Good Bit podcast, which is super, super fun, and it's like having, you know, your own thing because you're on iTunes now. It's kind of new, you know. But on YouTube, this is still fun, you know, presenting yourself and having an opinion and sharing it with people, and you know, watching it back and getting opinions and stuff. And CM42 TV at one point was doing really, really, really well. Like at 2013, summer of 2013. So many like good videos and loads of comments and loads of views. Like I made like a big unboxing. It was like 25 pickups. I got like 5,000 views or something, or 50,000 or something like that. Like a ridiculous number. Because I was in and out, I kind of stopped properly in 2015, and because I was going to college and stuff, I knew I was going to start like getting really busy. I'm ridiculously busy now, but because it's a good idea to come back now because I've got nothing on. But so then, you know, I tried coming in and out here and there, but it's just never worked out and stuff. But now that I'm kind of back fully, you know, doing videos, you know, every week kind of a thing, is really cool, and it's kind of nice that I'm the last one standing. In a lot of cases, I've been here since the start. I've been here since the start of YouTube. You know, 2007. My first video, Doink Does Daft Stuff, all the way up to here, you know, it's mental. I've never cracked 1,000 subscribers on a channel like this. It was Let's Watch Wrestling TV that I've got like 6,000 subs or whatever. But so I'm like at 960 something now, so I'm hoping this year, 2018, is the year that CM42 TV cracks 1,000 subscribers. That would be amazing. It'd be such an achievement. I'd feel like that's sort of like worked for that, and you know, especially this sort of last couple of weeks I've been going crazy with the videos, which has been great, but like trying to build that sort of viewership up and been getting some new subscribers recently, which is awesome. If you're a new subscriber, thank you so much. Hopefully you stick around and hopefully you enjoy what you see, and hopefully you keep enjoying the new content and stuff. It's been a really cool experience doing the whole YouTube thing, and still being able to do it, you know. It's gone through phases, like the wrestling figure stuff and the DVD stuff is a big deal. And now we're kind of moving towards the movie side of things, where like wrestling isn't really a big enough topic to kind of carry a whole channel, you know, because, you know, a big part of the wrestling stuff is collecting the DVDs and stuff, and that doesn't really happen anymore because of the WWE Network. And as far as me doing YouTube in future, you know, I'm going to continue to do it because it's growing like mad, isn't it? Like YouTube as a thing. It's people's career now, it's people's occupation to be a YouTuber. Which is, if you told me that like 7 years ago, I would have like started crying if that was a possibility. And it's not, you know, it could be a possibility for me someday. I suppose that's kind of like a sort of far-fetched dream, I suppose. Like just doing this for a living would be freaking ridiculous. And there's shows out there that you've watched grow, you know. Like one that comes to mind is OSW Review. Starting off in 2011, you know, with only a few hundred fans, and now are in the millions and thousands and making so much money off, and it's so amazing, you know. And that's kind of like the goal. And even like Luke, you know, Razor Wire Review is someone who I said I've talked to for 7 years now, who I saw when he started his channel and has grown to this stage now, and his videos are amazing, and his subscribers are amazing, and his view counts are brilliant, and you know, it's really awesome to see. He's got a Patreon now, he's making money off it. It's so awesome to see your friends and these people who you've followed do so well, you know. And I just hope like one day that I can get to that stage as well. And it's always been like, it's being creative and having a good imagination and having that drive to do good stuff is it's kind of what's kept me going, I suppose, you know, trying to create new things and being creative and you know, wanting to do better and wanting to make the better videos so people enjoy them more. I have this really undying need to please people in life. I just do. So this adds to it, you know. I hope you enjoy my videos. I'm going to try and make them better, you know. So with that said, I hope you've enjoyed this video. This has been a total like ramble, but it's kind of what I wanted because I hadn't thought about this sort of stuff in a long time. And it's kind of weird to I kind of skimmed through that later side of things, but it's because CM42 TV has kind of been around for a long time. This has been a channel since 2011, but now like YouTubers are a thing. Let's keep it going, you know, and see where it can go. So I don't know. This has been fun, kind of talking about old YouTube memories and stuff, and hopefully we have another few years of good laughs and good times, and hopefully this year we can crack 1,000 subscribers. That's what I'm going for. That's kind of like a New Year's resolution of mine this year. Hopefully it happens. I'm only like 40 off, so hopefully that's a possibility. So yeah, someone outside just started cleaning their car, so it's going to annoy me because I have one of those squisher things that's really loud. And yeah, until next time, please subscribe. Let's crack that 1,000. I've never really said that before, but yeah, Leave a comment, tell me if you've, how long you've been watching, if you're a new subscriber, if you're an old subscriber, if you've enjoyed certain videos, that'd be great. And you can follow me on Twitter at CM42TV. Tweet me your thoughts. And I have the podcast on YouTube. On YouTube now. I'm uploading older videos, older episodes that are remastered in HD and are exclusive to YouTube because they're not on iTunes anymore. So check them out. And also on iTunes, The Good Bit Podcast. Follow me on Twitter with that, at The Good The Bit Pod. And until next time, thank you very much for watching, and thank you for watching over the past feckin' 11 years or whatever it's been. And until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.